I think that's a good angle. It's a little tilted, but it's a good angle. Oh shit. There we go. Oh, much better now. Should be better. But let me tell y'all something about vulnerability, okay? A lot of people struggle with this. A lot. And I feel sad for people who struggle on this. Because I understand where you're coming from. I do. But the main question is, did you learn? Did you learn? I don't know why I'm yelling. My bad. But the main question is, did you guys learn through your vulnerability? Did you learn the lesson that you went through when at your vulnerable time? Like, yes, that person hurt you, but also fuck them for hurting you. Also fuck them for like not seeing where you're at that time of day or like that time of your life. But also it's not their work to like help you. It's you that needs to help yourself. And you know, go through all that you need to go through to learn that lesson through your vulnerability and through the heart and love that you gave other people, and then they broke and they crush it. But bitch, get back up on your feet, because this is, you literally have this life, you know. The universe is giving you whatever you need to learn to be where you need to be at. They gonna give you people. Like I experienced this recently. Recently, as in like a week ago, where there's this guy, right? I love the guy. I love that man to the best of my abilities, to however far he wanted to go. But I know I have a lot of love to give, so I love him fully. I became vulnerable with him and all that. I speak my mind, I communicate, but then I didn't realize we hung out a lot, and then he was giving me signs. And I saw it, but I didn't think into it like I did. Like I reflect into it currently. And not even currently. I reflect into it, and I saw everything I need to see within that period of not talking, right? So we didn't talk. He pulled back and all that. And honestly, people can't communicate like I do. They can't communicate on the spot. They need time to think, to evaluate the situation. My hurt of him saying XYZ to me was too emotional for him, or too, like, it triggered his nervous system, basically. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a trauma response. It's a trauma response, and my trauma response was feeling abandoned. But I learned from that is that I need to get comfortable with the silence, and I need to get comfortable with the uncomfortable to be a better person. I'm not gonna lie, that guy was just like a mirror. He was a reflection to me. And honestly, word on that, on God. On fucking God. I'm on the universe, on whatever is out there. I trust the universe. I trust God. I trust Buddha. I trust like Allah and all that. But on the universe, whatever lesson that was, that guy was just like a mirror. He was a mirror to my own shortcoming. And boy, oh boy, was that a good lesson to learn. I'm not gonna lie. I did ugly cry for like 2 days. But then I reevaluate my situation because I'm like, okay, why am I feeling this way? Is it because of me? And obviously, yes, it's because of me, but it's also because of him. It's also on both of us. But it takes courage and vulnerability to show other people that side of you. And to learn through that vulnerability your shortcoming and your personality or vibration that needs to go higher and higher. There's a reason why you're learning that lesson. There's a reason why I learned that lesson. And there is a reason why that all this is happening. But to tell you the truth, it was so effing sad. Like when I tell you it was sad, girl, it was sad because I see who you are. I saw through you. I saw the vulnerability that you gave me, and that I had the privilege to see you in another light than the one you were showing me when we first met. Like I was slowly getting to know you and your vulnerability, and it was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it was fucking beautiful. And he got scared. I'm not gonna lie, he got scared. Pulled back. And no contact. So, I'm like, alright, cool. That's how I learned I need to get comfortable with the silence, girl. Because not everything is like, you gotta tell me now, blah, blah, blah. Because everybody communicate differently. Everybody have a different attachment problem. And that they need to work on it. And I also need to work on my attachment problems. And all that. Because I, looking back, had evaluated that I activated his nervous system to the point where he felt like he wasn't in control. And I felt like I was getting abandoned. Which is fine because I'm in control of my feelings. He's in control of his feelings. We ain't changing each other's feelings. We're each individuals and we know how to regulate our own feelings. But it's just, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to help yourself and evaluate your own situation and conversation, emotional problems to fix that and be a better you? Because I wanted him, keyword me, not even we, I wanted him to be a better person than he is now. Because I saw potential. But people sometimes do not see their own potential. Which is sad as hell. But I'm pretty glad and I'm pretty happy that we were both a mirror to each other. How would you say it? Shortcomings? A mirror to each other's shortcomings? And I just hope that he learned that, not lesson, but I hope he becomes a better man through this situation. Because in my eyes, I just in my eyes, if he saw himself through my eyes, like I swear to God, if he see himself through my eyes, he's such a beautiful person and he's such a beautiful soul, but he doesn't realize that. And then when I show it to him, I'm assuming he didn't feel like he should be loved like that. I'm assuming he feels like I don't deserve to be loved like that, or this is too much and I don't believe that I would be secure in this relationship because you're showing me something that I have never felt before, and so therefore it activated my nervous system to pull back and to not communicate that, because I don't know how to communicate the feelings that is going through me currently. So I'm guessing that's what's happening to him. But you know what? I love you, man. Like, I saw who you were. You were such a beautiful soul. I get what part of life you're at, and I wish you the best. I wish that you could see what I'm seeing because you're so beautiful. Oh my God. But it's just, trauma response and all that. People gotta work on it. They gotta do internal work. If they're too scared to, then how would they ever get through it? And I don't want him to be stuck in that situation, because it's a hard ass life. It is life on hard mode, being stuck in one place forever. And it's saddening. You know what I'm saying? But through that whole situation of being vulnerable and all that, vulnerability is such, and being your authentic self. So vulnerability and being your authentic self is such a beautiful thing. Like if you found yourself and then you're also vulnerable to like people, but then they show you who they are and they hurt you, that's when you say, all right, cool, we're not like that no more. All right, cool, I'm gonna cut you off. All right, cool, I'm gonna set a boundary because I was vulnerable to you. I was my authentic self, and I was hoping that you wouldn't backstab me on that. But you did. So then therefore there's a consequence to that. So that's basically you protecting your energy and all that, right? And it's hard to get to that. It's hard to be vulnerable to other people and being your authentic self when you yourself don't even know how they are with other people, or if they would backstab you in the long run, or if they would do this and that, or if they would use that energy against you. Oh, it's basically, I show you who I am until you tell me otherwise. That's the quote I was saying. That was the quote I was thinking about. To me, vulnerability is okay. It's a hard shit to do. And it took me years. My God. It took me years to get to where I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. It took me a fucking years. Like 5, almost a decade. To just reevaluate myself, to look inside of me and see who the fuck I am, what I like, what I do like, what I don't like, what's my boundaries. Like it's so much internal work that you need to find for yourself. And honestly, I'm not scared of showing it. Like, I'm not scared of being authentic and having vulnerability. Like, that's a connection that we're feeling with each other, right? And that to me is not scary. But to other people who I met down the line and at work, it's scary because they got hurt. They got hurt to the point where they don't want to think about it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to this and that. And you know what? I'm glad I met those people. I'm glad they're being a little bit vulnerable to me. Like, vulnerability is such a beautiful thing that it's scary to be vulnerable to somebody who you cherish, who you love, and then they cast you aside. Like, that's hurtful. That's a whiplash. and and it's going to take you down a road that you would not like, but that road is to make you a better person than you should be. Not should be, but a better person than you are in whatever life you're at, or period of your life that you're at. Vulnerability is okay, but it's hard and it's a motherfucking struggle, right? We live in a world where everybody is grown, everybody grew up different. Everybody grew up in a different environment. We are both human beings that are trying to learn each other. We are trying to see and communicate with each other. But we need to know the different ways of communicating to each other to make that comprehension go through with another person. You can't just sit them down and be like, let's talk. Like right there and then in the heat of the moment. No, like some people need to go out. Some people get so emotionally triggered, so emotionally drained that they need to take a step back and figure it out. Step back and see the whole situation and think. And then later on they'll come back and then they communicate that with you. You know? It's something I want people to learn about that, and that takes a lot of courage. And I'm very happy if you're gonna take that step. I'm very happy if you're going to communicate that with your partner, with your family, with your whatever relationship you need to do that to. But just learn that, girl, I'm in my 20s and I'm learning all of this. It's such an emotional roller coaster. But this part of my life, I'm finding that people would avoid that because their nervous system gets triggered, their trauma response comes out, so then therefore my trauma response come out, and so the silence is uncomfortable and feels like I'm being abandoned and all that. So this is my first time in my life. First time in my life in my 20s. It's just, end of the day, my whole heart, I believe that everybody should know this type of love, but it takes two to tango, and it takes a lot of inner work to figure all of this out. And I'm in my 20s, and I'm reading all this. I'm experiencing all of this, and vulnerability hits you like a motherfucking rock. Your authenticity, your authentic self also hits you like a rock. So vulnerability and authentic self is going to be some crazy work, honey. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. It's going to be crazy work. Like it's, but then you would be so happy that you did all of that work just to be where you are, and just to see your life expand more than staying in one spot, because we're human. Everybody learn different stages in their life, and you can't force a person to learn that. So I'll end it with like, are you ready? I hope you are ready for this journey. I hope you are ready to see what I have seen, and for you to learn what you need to learn. And it's scary, but that's when you jump. That's when you jump.